Yeah, here we are back from Florida. The BushCat pushed out. Stuff starting to clean up pretty good. Got her fired up there. Taxiing out. And I got to shoo the geese off of the runway. They're got quite a resident population here, and it's our own fault we feed them. But they've been working on the end of the runway, as you can see. Got some wood cut. Get her lined up. Just push the throttle on. Pick the tail up. No flaps, nothing, just hop it right in the air. And of course I always pull the throttle off, just cruise it along there, 5,000 RPMs. Rotax runs so good, but you can see things are greening up good around central New York. Off the end of the runway, want to go down and take a look at Wagner's, see how things are going down there. They got the mazes that are working there. That's looking like a runway right there out in front of me. Look at that nice straight strip right there. I may have to go down there and take a look at landing there. I don't know. Let's see how that goes. But I got a spot right here along 365 where Farmer Bob was working the other day. And before we went to Florida, I dragged the field to the east, and now I'm going to drag the field toward the west. And you can see right beside the 4-lane there, there's a nice little strip right here where you can drop down in and get slowed down. And then you got all this nice clean lot here. Look at it. And he's got her smoothed right up pretty good. I wanted to drag it again from this way, just make sure we didn't have any rocks or anything in there. We'll get over there and land on that here before the summer's over. But we headed over the horse farm, and we're heading over to Farmer Bob's, and I said, hey, look at that over there. So I turn off to the left, and Farmer Bob was working on the end of the plowed field there, but there was probably 10 deer, 8 or 10 deer right here on the corner. You can see them right there. And I dropped down in to get a little look at them, and they showed us their white flags here in just a second. There you go. Quite a herd of them right there. So anyway, Farmer Bob knew I was coming because he was flashing the lights at me. We'll get a look at him a little deeper in the season there, but he's got stuff going good. Went down to the landing, down to Collins's, and did a touch and go down here. And just watch me just grease those tires on ever so nicely. This is a nice little field down here. I didn't stop. I just got her planted and pushed the throttle back on and took it back up out. You can see the colt sitting there in the hangar. A nice little runway down there, pretty near to Sylvan Beach, over the landing, the Take Us Out campground. I got quite a few campers in there already. We're talking about the end of March. Actually, not the end of March. We're talking about the end of April. And the campgrounds are just about full already. I mean, look at all the campers in there. Holy cow, they're loving that camping. But just like a mirror tonight, not a breath of wind, over Mary's Diner. And went down along the shore of the lake. We've done that quite a few times. Just like a mirror, like I said, not much wind tonight. Very little movement. Had to wiggle the wings at the folks on the pier there waving. Had one boat here headed back in and past the lighthouse. Figured this close, we'll go look at Dave Lebrecht's. And as you can see, we got quite a bit of water still laying on the west side of the runway. I said, we better just go ahead and let that dry up a little bit more before we land there. It looked pretty good, but I didn't want to cut it up in case it was wet. So headed back home, and this is Irish Ridge Road at Tip Street. Nice little pond out in the back there. You can't see it from the road, but quite a nice little pond. And I figured we were this close, might just well overfly Fritz's. I thought maybe he'd be out in his Adirondack chair, but I didn't see him. You look at the wood right here at the end of the runway. We're back home, making the approach, and as you can see, we're opening the end up here pretty good, and got it ditched out so it dries it up. But hope you enjoyed the ride around the block in the BushCat.